Welcome to the Radiant Black podcast. This is a podcast about the Radiant Black comic book series by Kyle Higgins and Marcelo Costa. I'm joined today by Matt.
Am I supposed to? Was I supposed to chime in
Yeah,
there? Did you forget who I was,
yeah.
Bash? Jesus.
No,
Yeah.
you're supposed to talk.
Okay. Well, it's Matt here, whether you like it or not, to talk about Radiant Black, among other things, and happy to be here as always.
And
this is Ali joining back again for another episode.
yeah,
And we're here for Radiant Black Talk. Issue 8. It was another big one. We're not slowing down. That's for sure.
How's everyone doing? How's the week been? I mean, it's been exciting. There's been a lot of good comics. Obviously, Radiant Black number 8. Has anyone been to the store?
Yeah, I went this morning actually. Last week they were hosting the Buffalo Comic Con. This week they unveiled a new collection. Picked up some stuff, did some nice dollar bin diving, but it's been an exciting week for comics for me.
It's been a long ass week. It feels like it's been a month actually this week. A lot of stuff's gone down, rest in peace Norm Macdonald. I fucked up shaving my beard when I needed it most. Like no one wants to go on like a date-ish potential thing and like realize they shaved off like a sideburn and then you have to like make a new facial hairstyle. So it's been a while. It's been but I saw Bad Trip yesterday and it's really fucking funny, and it actually I'm in a good mood now. Basically, it was good shit. So it's been good, and comics have been good too. People kind of listen to this for comics, but yeah, no, comics have been rad. We got a new Somebody's Killing the Children. It's been a wild week, but yeah, it's been a week.
I was really excited for this Radiant Black issue, and it's always a good week when they do the Radiant Black, the new issue, and then they have the late print for another issue, which they did for Radiant Black number 7, the second print. Did you guys grab a copy?
I missed mine. That's the one you told me to get, right?
Yeah, I think. Did you pre-order
was that
one?
the variant?
Is that that's the pink one where they're all on the cover?
Yeah, I might have missed that. It might have been a ratio or whatever that I missed. Whatever.
Oh yeah. You missed the ratio. The
R.I.P.
Yeah. That one's actually, speaking of, that one's actually heated up. That was one of the hot books of the week. It was on some lists and stuff. The fabled. We don't speak of them lists because we know some people how they feel about those lists. But I just noticed that they made some of those lists, and that's good to see. It was a really cool cover by Tyler Kirkham, and I managed to grab one. It was costly, but now that I look back at what I paid, and it's less than what it's going for now, so I guess I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sweet.
What about you, Adi? Did you grab the ratio, or which covers did you?
I did not. I grabbed cover A and B for 8, and I think I pre-ordered the second print for 7, so I should be getting that in a week or two, depending on what the pre-order schedule's like.
That's awesome. Yeah, the second print for number 7 is sweet. We talked about it last time by Santo Luco, and I grabbed 2. I just thought, why not? Maybe I'll hang one up or something. But moving on. If you're enjoying the Radiant Black podcast, follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Podbean if you're on Podbean.
We've got the giveaway going on.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say we got that giveaway, and we're very close to 250 followers on Instagram, so that's awesome. And we're getting there on Twitter. We're like at the low 200s, so keep on showing your support, and we're going to give away that trade paperback for Radiant Black Volume 1. So collecting issues 1 to 6, we have that awesome cover gallery in the back, and you get the Radiant translator, right? So how can it get better than that? And then beyond that, we're gonna be giving away the Radiant Black number 5 second print cover for when the Black Market Narrative hits 1,000 followers. So follow Black Market Narrative on Twitter, because that's Kyle Higgins' creative thing. His creative thing. That's what I'm calling
it's the Black Market Narrative, and it's the best kept secret right now because that's where all the hot narratives are coming. You've got Ordinary Gods. You've got, if you want to see like the covers and the latest and some previews for Kyle Higgins' series, definitely check that out. And I mean, he's got 2 new series out this year. Who knows what he's going to do next year? Kyle Higgins is just like striking while the iron's hot. So definitely check that out. And when they get to 1,500, this podcast will be at least super interesting for one episode. I can guarantee.
Not to mention, we've got that Radiant Black number 10 Blacklight edition coming out soon, and that's been making, that's been getting some attention online. A lot of people have been talking about, that, and they're like, Blacklight edition, that's pretty cool. I can't wait for that personally because that's just gonna be a blast. I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much yet, but if you've read issue number 8, and hopefully you have, because we're gonna spoil the fuck out of it moving forward, so make sure you've read issue number 8. The artwork was incredible. There were some real moments here where Marcelo Acosta, Becca Carey, and yeah, they just did and then Natalia Marquez, they just did some crazy stuff. So yeah, what did you guys think? Good issue, awesome issue.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I mean, I'm really liking the breakneck pace, and I can't wait to read this as a whole arc, because like we're kind of getting it split up between, even though they met up in the issues, seeing what black and pink are doing as well as yellow and red. So it's really cool to see, just as a one read would be awesome, because like really, it's tough in these small doses. But I feel like this issue we got kind of a more of an idea on what's going on with Glitch Guy, and we got to see more of Russia and stuff. No, it was fun. It was a good issue. So definitely enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I feel like this issue is kind of a precursor to see more robots too. We haven't seen their inner robots in a while. They talk about them here. I don't want to spoil it yet, but I have a feeling the next couple of issues we're going to see a lot more of those.
We see things, just body parts
Yeah.
and things, all kinds of limbs and things. Yeah, no, it was quite the issue. A lot happened, which was it was an issue that there wasn't too much dialogue, or there wasn't a lot of like heaviness to it, but so much happened. Like so much happened in those pages. So we're gonna break it down right now, starting with the beginning. So Radiant Black, amazing cover A by, is this a Watanabe cover? Yeah, this is a Felipe Watanabe cover. That's the artist of Ordinary Gods.
Yeah.
Amazing artwork with coloring by Igor Monti. And man, Igor Monti is incredible. Like, genuinely incredible colorist. They, earlier this week on the Radiant Black Discord, Kyle Higgins dropped a panel from an upcoming issue. We don't know, but it was Radiant Black just, breaking the fourth wall basically, but following through four walls is a gorgeous, gorgeous page or panel. I couldn't tell, but it seemed like a page. Beautiful, and it was colored by Igor Monti, and the colors were just incredible. Like, genuinely, they popped, and I'm so excited to read that issue. I just can't wait. But yeah.
Well, let's get into the issue. We start off with it looks to be a ship destroyed here, and we find out it's Glitch Guy's ship, or at least it is now, as he hops inside and gets charged up. I thought it was a cool little intro to see just like a slice of what Slash Face here is doing.
This is really cool. Honestly, just first of all, the colors, Natalia Marquez colors are incredible. Just seeing the sky, it's how to explain it. It's just beautiful. We see all the different colors. You could tell once once Slash Guy, I guess, once his laser like comes on in the visor, like you can just feel it. You see that he's floating towards the ship, and then once he gets inside the ship, everything just goes red once he plugs into it. I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah, and when he's repairing the helmet, it kind of reminds me of like Kylo Ren when he gets his helmet repaired in episode 9 there, and it's still got like the red on it, like you can see how it was fixed. Yeah, I enjoyed this like quiet little opening. I feel like it kind of bookends the issue. We see a ship at the end and a ship at the beginning. I like that.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of visual storytelling. He kind of mentioned earlier, Bash mentioned earlier, there wasn't a ton of dialogue in this issue, but they never failed to like keep it moving, give you more information to think about, beautiful art.
More vomit-based storytelling, of course, because it seems like every issue
you knew I was going to say it.
It's
like the chicken dance in Arrested Development, where eventually we're going to see everyone do the chicken dance and see everyone puke. That's my theory.
It's just.
I caught what might have been a mistake in the last issue. I reread up issue 7, and the panel where they're talking in Tokyo, you can see Yellow has an eye for a second, or at least it looks like Yellow's got an eye instead of just like the flat Cyclops line.
Uh-oh.
No.
But no, it's not a nitpick. I mean, to create this whole entire world, it's hard to, not make one like minor, oversight. But yeah, I think it's kind of like a cool thing, and like obviously I'm a big ass nerd if I'm pointing that out. But yeah, it's I just wanted to say. Sorry to
No,
sorry Marcelo, you do great work. It's just like one thing, and even then, whatever, because he complains about the eye later.
So
And
yeah,
I,
moving forward, this will be the Radio Black podcast, and we'll be just Bash and Addy, and Matt's gonna be he's just gonna suddenly disappear into a
why are
black
you
hole,
bashing Ali?
and
Did he do something
he's
wrong?
gonna disappear like someone did this issue. Anyway, it's Moscow, Russia, back to Russia. Just cool shots, of something that looks like the Kremlin, but I don't want to make any assumptions. Anyway, looks awesome. We get Marshall and Radiant Pink, and I just gotta say, they've got some cool chemistry, good chemistry going on in this issue.
Yeah, their dialogue was fantastic. This is probably like dialogue wise, this is one of my favorite issues in a long time in the series because like not that it's been like lacking at any point, but like it is just so fun. The cheeky stuff is like just even just right here is like, oh, it would have been good to have the red one around or whatever when they're in Russia. Like that's so good.
Yeah, that was actually really funny. But yeah, it's just like you could tell she's quite disoriented, doesn't understand really what's going on, and Marshall's just like, why are we in Russia? And she's, on her knees. She looks like she's about to throw up, and obviously she just did. And he's just like, come on, let's just get our helmets on, get the hell out of here. And she's just like, look, I need a second. I just feel like everything's spinning. And she says her heart's in her ears. And I think that's a funny way to put it. But yeah, they get back into their civilian clothing in front of a bunch of Russians. So, nothing
I
abnormal
feel
there.
like this was a little missed opportunity. You remember how before they I think it was Marshall who puked through his helmet. It was like this one of the perks of having it.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I wish
Can't,
they did the same thing here too.
can't have Eva puking out of her helmet, man.
Well,
She
Pink could
gotta
puke in the
maintain
portal
she gotta
in the
maintain the
helmet and watch it
Ooh,
as
buns.
someone
yeah,
puke.
yeah.
She gotta maintain the buns.
That's true. That's true. No, I like that, and it's like, oh, we'd be able to fit in a lot better if we were less glowy and stuff. Like, I liked it. And, like, Pink is going through it. Like, it's hard to make those 3 portals plus one that took them to space and back. Like, she's probably got to get some oranges or whatever. This is Ant-Man. Like, rough time for her.
Yeah, and that's what they decided to do. They decided to go on their little trip to find some sustenance, and then we're back in Japan. So what's going on in Japan? We see Slash Guy is tethered to a bunch of trees, and I don't even understand what is that red goo on him? I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, it seems like they're interrogating him.
Yeah, it looks like he's all wrapped up, and they've got him right where they want them. Right, it's the first time they've really had Glitch Guy at their mercy, but we learned that that's not quite the case because Glitch Guy's got I don't know what the sleeve situation is like, but he's got several tricks up there.
Yeah, no, their upper hand lasts about a page and a half, sadly.
Yeah, speaking of upper hands, that's going to be his undoing later on. No, but
Yeah.
lots of hand jokes are going to be in this episode, so full warning here. But I gotta say, Becca Carey did a killer job with like the glitchy look of the text too. It already looked cool, but it was even more impressive
Oh,
this
it's
issue.
amazing. It's yeah, no, it's that's a standout thing. I honestly I can't even explain to you how effective those things are when you're reading it. It really gives it that it makes it feel like like it's happening. So I love that. Thank you, Becca Carey, for those amazing text bubbles.
Yeah, like this comic, we've said it before. It was even mentioned in the note columns today, and the letters to the editor here. Like it's like you're watching a movie. It really is. Like the art flows, the storytelling. It's just, everything's firing on all cylinders. So it moves in your head. You don't even notice it's broken up by panels.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about reading Radiant Black is how fluid the experience is. It really does. It just flows. It's beautiful, and yeah. So we see here Wendell and Satomi trying to figure shit out about Glitch, and Glitch isn't having it. Yeah, he's trapped, but he's acting like it's no big deal. So
He's the one interrogating them at this point.
he's just like the respectful thing to do would be to immolate.
Yeah, it's the I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me situation for
Yeah.
sure. Like this is what he wants, right? You can hear them talk, and he's charging up. He's getting stronger based on what they think is a trap, which is the opposite. You think you got him where you want him, but he's just getting stronger and getting ready to think of his next trip.
Yeah, and so we see, you know, Wendell tells them that they deserve to have a chance to know about what's going on to them, since the Radiants came to them or whatever, or those little powers.
Mm.
And he's just Glitch Guy's not having it. He's just, what do you know about deserve? You marked your world for death, so it won't matter soon. And then he just thanks them for the charge and he disappears. And I just want to say, those
Hexagonal.
oh, hexagonal. Those hexagonal effects are amazing, and I remember Michael talking about how difficult it is for those hexagonal shapes to be produced because the artists actually have to, draw the full like drawing and then like go steps backwards to do that or something along those lines. So I just want to say I love that. I think it's brilliant. It's such a cool way to
It
show.
is.
Yeah,
It's
it's just so
that
awesome.
that's why Halo Infinite's taking so long. The bubble shield I heard is gonna look insane
Yeah.
this game. So
It's like
take your
yeah,
time.
it's like it's the invisibility and the overshield basically right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it looks sick. It always does, especially when we see like the bomb go off later on. Like it's well done.
Yeah, so now we're back in Russia and we're with Marshall and Eva, and it seems like they're at a cafe. Of course, Marshall's got to play it edgy, so he decides to take a couple of coffees from the Ruskies, but that doesn't go so well. Yeah.
No, it doesn't
I
go as
mean, I mean,
planned.
not until later on, I guess. But at first, it seems like it's a good plan, right?
Yeah, it does. And this is like the most relaxed these two have ever had a time to talk to each other, right? Like their impending doom isn't quite there yet. They know that their friends are trapped somewhere, but they kind of have a time to sit down, relax, and just kind of like, trade a few barbs and then realize like, you know what, Marshall can try to tell her he's not an asshole, but we'll know if she believes him or not. But it's a nice little back and forth and they can relax until people want their drinks back.
And I really like this dynamic of, Marshall trying to be there for Eva, even though he doesn't really know her. And even there's a bit of sass from her, so which is understood, of course, given their situation. But he's just trying to show her that he's not really an asshole. But
As we
yeah,
all try to do in our lives.
Well, he seems like a nice guy. He even stole a blanket for her,
mm,
helped keep her warm.
yeah.
At the end of the day, like Marshall's got a good
That
heart.
is no. At the end of the day, that's exactly what you want out of a radiant black material, isn't it? Someone who steals blankets and coffees for you. I mean, isn't that what qualifies all good cosmic superheroes?
Pretty much,
Um,
right? That's all. That's all people want is stolen coffee and blankets. But Marshall, he's a good guy, but like he's going through it. I mean, he just lost his best friend, and now he's like warping all around the world, meeting new people, having to go steal stuff from Russians, talking about rubles and Mastercards. Like you wouldn't expect this. So it's a lot is going on for our characters, and right now they don't even have time to really decompress. They just got to keep going and maybe have a moment, but then things are still going at a breakneck pace.
yeah, so he lets her know that next time she can steal some coffee, and she's got a witty remark saying she's got the perfect power for it. But yeah, they have their little break, they get to talk, but she's just freaking out a little bit, Radiant Pink. It's clear that she's not feeling 100%, but Marshall just lets her know that he's not being sarcastic, that he's honestly just trying to be there for her. So Eva just has a moment where she finally kind of absorbs it all, and she's just like, "Oh my God, isn't this all kind of weird? Just black holes and superpowers and space robots." And yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, I found that dialogue was a little bit weird. Like, are the refs like, yes, it's very weird. Like, did they understand English? Like, did they hear what they were saying earlier on? That's kind of threw me, but it was funny.
Yeah, so angry Russian guy shows up to obviously seek accountability for his stolen coffees, and obviously I don't know what the hell the girlfriend's saying in the background, but she's just like, uh-huh, like fuck him up, and yeah, so we get this awesome, beautiful little panel where Eva and Marshall are putting on the radiance. And man, that's awesome. Like the way the colors look and the way the words glow, like halfway pink and halfway blue. I really enjoyed that. Maybe their like radiance can like morph later on into like one big radiant. Who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, we already see their powers can connect and they can supercharge each other, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's inevitability that the four of them, form either a mech or they can all hook up together. Like, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that's going to happen. And, I think the only reason it wouldn't is if Kyle's trying to throw us off, because it's definitely, I
And the
feel kind of
ultra
brand to throw us
radiant.
off.
And then we
Yeah.
have to get the ultra radiant, ultra mega crossover, obviously.
And then a symbiote on top of it. No, I don't know, but yeah.
But no, yeah, this was an awesome page. I like the contrast between like uh there's that little panel where he's like, besides it's high time we interrupted the wooded weekend getaway. But I like the contrast between how his eyes are kind of like normal size blue eyes, and then Pink's eyes are like these huge like Spider-Man looking eyes. You know what I mean? It looks really cool.
They still have a lot of their personality even when they're in the suits.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at this page, I think like, oh man, like a good thing I'm not colorblind, but also they're different enough and stuff like that that you can definitely kind of tell them apart. Pink and red might be kind of tough side by side sometimes, but I think that they do a good enough job differentiating the costumes.
Oh yeah, and we're back to yellow and red who are in the thick of it with Glitch here. It seems like he's just giving the smack. He's giving them the smackdown. They can't seem to keep it under control. He keeps on teleporting around. We get these awesome panels of just fighting. Oh my, like I think it's incredible when there's this one panel where he teleports for a second and you see just his arm. One of my favorite panels, probably the whole issue. And he puts this like little device on Wendell's chest and it kind of like messes with him. It disorients him. It's almost like a radiant flashbang or something, but
Mm.
it's like an EMP, some sort of thing. But that panel is just amazing. The way that they illustrate that, like the effect that radiant yellow is being like CC'd basically.
Yeah.
Like it looks
Yeah.
amazing. Like,
He's
doesn't it
glitched
look
out for
amazing?
sure. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
almost like
it's
something that makes glitch like the way he is. It's like it's
yeah,
very
he's
interesting and
glitching out basically.
yeah.
You got glitched by glitch, bro.
And then next panel where what happens to Satomi, that I learned the
Yeah,
ultimate lesson today.
I was scared, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, holy fuck, did he just kill her? Like that looked
Yeah.
like a
I
one
didn't
I
think
hit, a
that.
one hit KO. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't think that because I learned the lesson of mute the Discord during New Comic Day. If you haven't read the issue yet, because it popped up like, oh, when Satomi got stabbed, who else was worried when Satomi got stabbed? I forget who said it, but like I was like, ah, shit. So like I
yeah,
knew there was really like no stakes, but it was still intense when I read it. I was like, oh damn. But like if any of them got stabbed, I think Satomi would be the one that obviously we would think would be able to survive since she can absorb stuff. But we knew for sure that when she was bleeding out, so it definitely like affected her throughout the suit and through the suit, and she was fine. So that's cool to get that confirmed.
oh yeah. But what's interesting here is also, there was speculation earlier episodes of the podcast, and when earlier issues came out of whether Glitch Guy, whose name we might find out soon enough, who knows, actually understood their powers or not. And it seems like he does because as she's, doing it, he says survival mode, absorb to repair, try to stop the loss of fluid, clever, but too advanced. So clearly he has a grapple on at least some of their powers. Like he seems to clearly understand what they're doing and what they're capable of. Especially since he took out Wendell so fast, right? Like he must know how and why or what his weaknesses are.
he's definitely a lot more experienced with all this radiant stuff going on. He knows what he's doing. He's not to be trifled with.
But
Do you
how
think
about this next sequence though? Like where what's it called? She's just stabbed in the back again, and
She gets
she
stabbed
just
twice.
yeah, but she grabs that sword with her hands, just bleeding, and it sucks in all that blood and just turns into like Hulkbuster Radiant Red again. Like that's amazing. I was just like, what a turn of events.
Do you
Yeah,
think
that was
the
dope.
powers of the robots, like the red robots we saw, do you think they have like matter manipulation powers too, or it's just strictly the radiance? Maybe it's tied to the color, and maybe that's how he knows because he's fought that, or maybe he's killed whatever last had the red radiant. Who knows?
I don't know, but this page where Satomi punches Glitch, knocks him into like a tree, and then we go back to Wendell, who's just like disoriented and like CC'd by the device, and then she pulls it off his chest and he's back. Like you see the light shine back into his visor, and then you see this
Yeah.
insane panel of like just I don't even know what the hell is going on here, but you
He
see
used
like
double team. That's what happened.
yeah,
But like
yeah, yeah. He
it's
basically you just see all these like little projections of Wendell, and it looks like a bunch of different hymns, and I'm just like, man, like maybe he has a power where he can project, kind of like Doctor Strange in Infinity War when he made a bunch of different versions of
Yeah,
himself.
yeah.
Like maybe he has
yeah.
a power where he could do something like that with light or something. But
See,
even if he couldn't, that was just such a cool page.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and maybe he didn't even mean to. Like he's so fired up from getting his powers back and stuff like that that it's just like he didn't even mean to. But it's awesome, and I want to see like Pink's got to have like a fully charged up mode too, presumably, if because the other guys do. We get the cape, so who know
It's
on
the
Marshall.
Bifrost. That's the fully
Yeah,
charged mode.
exactly.
Straight
So
up.
yeah, looking forward to that. And this panel was awesome. So he's got light manipulation, so he could definitely do like tricks, and maybe he could like also replicate the other radiants to send in like to throw people off. That'd be cool.
we definitely need to see more of him. He or his powers at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about
We've been
how
trying
so
to guess
far.
him for
Yeah.
a few months
He's been
now.
the least one shown so far, eh?
Yeah,
Like in terms
yeah,
of just personality and everything. Like I disagree. Some people were like, "Oh, we didn't see anything from him this issue," and it's like that's not completely true. We did see his sense of leadership, which we'll talk about later on. We did see that he seems to be the most level-headed, rational member of the team. You know what I
definitely.
mean? So it's like there are some qualities that reveal themselves, maybe not just like explicitly, but definitely implicitly.
W-
So
Would you say he's like the unspoken leader of the group?
as of right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Like as of
I
right now,
agree.
yeah.
He's the
Because
most
he
level-headed. He needs to be.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
been the one who's been keeping them from like not fighting each other and things like that and focusing on what matters at the right time. So I'd say so far, yeah, he's the one that has the most leadership quality. But that could change. But anyway, we get this amazing page in X where you know it's this reminds me of Ronin in a lot of Marvel pages. Like Ronin always has this like very serious like death stare, but we get Glitch guy just giving them the like oh shit death stare, but he then pulls out his arm and like accesses this like technology thing on his hand pad. But that reminds me
tactical
so
nuke.
much. Yeah, it reminds me so much of when Predator like commits suicide at the end of a movie because like they lost, they pull out that fucking bomb and then just like you lose. I'm just like that reminded me so much of that. But yeah, it
Come
was
on, kill
basically
me, do it
yeah,
now.
yeah,
No, I had to. I had to
yeah,
say.
yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
it was cool. But when he brought up the Ronin, I got and he's got like the hood up in that panel where he launches the bomb. It kind of made me think of the best version of Doctor Doom in 2015's Fantastic Four, where he's like nuclear class. No, I'm not going to bring up nuclear crash test dummy, even though I just did. But no, I
Oh,
like it. But also we see the eye right of Glitch guy. So he's got to be an alien, right? Presumably from another planet.
dude, I have no idea what the hell is
He
going
might
on
be a
here.
person. He's
It might be
definitely
a
like,
person with super
yeah,
Aliens are
advanced
people too, guys.
technology.
Hashtag no.
Yeah,
But
no,
no,
I just don't understand what's going on here. But I just love this page with the like whoop and the explosion. It reminds me so much of like the catastrophe, like Invincible, the episode where Cecil orders the satellite attack on Omni-Man. Like the huge
yeah,
explosion. Yeah,
yeah.
it
yeah.
just reminds me of that. It's like the whole thing just goes white, and then you have this crater in the middle, and they're just like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got the failsafe, so like he's thinking ahead. He's got a bunch of tricks, and I thought this was awesome. So it's like you see them get powered up, and they think that they stand a chance, but no, you're getting blown away. And it's good because it revealed their location for Marshall and Eve right there, or Eva.
Yeah, Marshall and Eva get back in, and they're just like, "What?" They're just all shocked. And Wendell's still recovering. He says he charges his tech from us, so basically they're powering Glitch. And Glitch's response, is a protective understanding of the old ways and the new. You tempt fate, you dance amongst world enders in the shadow of Armageddon, all the while unknowing of the extent to which you are a mistake, an accident, an improbable accident. So man, this guy is seriously pissed. Like, I don't know what they did to like, I don't, if they just spat in his breakfast or something, but this guy is upset, a doom to your planet. Like, this guy is out to kill them.
That line was badass with you dance among world
Mm,
enders in the shadow of Armageddon. Like that's
mm.
so epic. This is badass. I love this villain.
Yeah, no, this guy doesn't joke around. He's just like very comfortable 1v4. Like, it ain't even a thing?
Yeah, no, he doesn't care. You can squad up. He's a raid boss at least. Like you gotta get a 25 man party going.
Yeah, so we get this funny moment where it's like, if that's how it's gotta be, then stop pussyfooting around and let's go, you Cosmic Slash. So I guess they're calling him Cosmic Slash, but I'm gonna go with Glitch
Is that the canon name? Because I like Glitch more.
or the big reveal. He says, I am 001 or double O
Double O
one,
one.
marked for death by
Catalyst.
Catalyst. So
Yeah.
that's what the translation is. It's Catalyst. And so here's the deal. We actually brought up Catalyst before. We brought up Catalyst twice before. We brought up Catalyst on the last episode of the podcast, like specifically the one about Radiant Black. And we also brought up Catalyst on the last episode, the one we did right before this, the December comic book
Hmm.
episode, because the Catalyst was mentioned in the solicit for number 11, or we were talking about what is Catalyst, and now we're starting to have an idea. Maybe like what the fuck is Catalyst? Maybe it's like their god, or maybe it's the big robot, or maybe it's someone in charge. But we're knowing this Catalyst figure is authoritative in some way, and you know we see this crazy moment in the whole issue. And honestly, this moment kind of blew my mind when it happened. I was genuinely like, what the hell just happened when I first read this. I think I read this page twice because I was just like, did that really just happen? But Glitch is just, he's just zero zero 001 introducing himself, and then Radiant Black's chest just begins to glow like crazy, and you see this giant robot arm just shoot out of it, grab Glitch, suck it into the inside of Radiant Black's chest, and that shit's gone. Now I don't know what the hell just happened, but I think Eva's response sums it up.
The fuck was that? Yeah, basically. I mean, that's how you would react. Like, if you see a hand come out of the chest of one of your new friends, yeah, you'd be freaked out. But at least, it absorbed the guy, right? Presumably it pulled Glitch guy in, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely in the Radiant Black, like,
Suit
black
or the
hole or
radiant.
suit
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, but what does that entail? I don't know.
dude, I don't even understand what just happened. Like, I really don't. Like, did he just suck him into existence or
I
some
don't
shit?
know.
Like, what happened? Like, I don't even know. But I'm so excited to find out in the next issue or whenever we're gonna find out what happened there, because that was crazy. That was like legit bonkers.
Well, we said that they're going to a black hole for this list that's further on, right? So, like, presumably they're going to go, maybe everyone's going to go inside. It's going to be like a Magic School Bus episode.
Are they all gonna go inside Marshall? It's gonna be like that one Harley Quinn episode where they all go inside Harley's brain.
Yeah,
Man.
basically. But so it looks like beyond gravity powers, he has absorption abilities, not physically absorbing and transmuting matter, but he can pull things inside of the radiant black suit like a black hole and like absorb.
Yeah,
them.
but do we know for sure that he did that, or did the robot, or did cat, or not cat?
My guess would be the robot.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it, like the robot you spoke to before. Somehow, some way, it's like trying to protect him. But if you look a few pages down, or like a couple of pages down, when he's trying to start shit up again with Satomi, and Wendell tries to stop it, he starts glitching too.
That's interesting.
Even his speech bubble is glitched a little bit too.
Interesting.
So I wonder if that's because he absorbed him, or maybe we've seen that before and I forgot. I'm not sure.
No, that's interesting. I didn't notice that. That's a good catch. No, I didn't know that. But yeah, the whole situation, it's like in Zelda when you're playing like a late game dungeon, the wall master comes out and the floor master comes up and pulls you back to the first room. Like, that's not ideal. And it seemed like he wasn't ready for that, right? This might be something that the glitch guy hadn't planned for.
Yeah. It's confusing. It's weird and cool at the same time, and no one knows what the fuck's happening.
No, but
us.
You could see right after that whole thing, happened there, just, basically getting their stuff back together. Eva asked if Satomi was bleeding, and she lets her know that she was. Wendell just asked him if he understands what just happened, and Marshall's just like, dude, giant goddamn robot stuck his arm out of my chest. That's what happened. He's been in there the whole time. I just look, it's one thing to be a person who's a spectator and watch that happen. It's an entirely different person to be the person whose arm just gets sucked, just comes out of your chest and sucks someone in. So I can't even imagine how Marshall's feeling right now.
Yeah, it would be an experience. Like, I don't even know how you would feel. Like, but presumably, it's just the suit. Maybe he can't feel that, or maybe from inside the glitch guy can start corrupting him. Who knows? We don't know how powerful he is.
That's a good point. We really don't. So yeah. So Wendell's first thought is, as you can see, he's always taken the initiative in the conversations. First thought is, this might be over, or the immediate threat at least. Let's go home, not draw any more attention. And, I'd really like to know what catalyst means. And then, Eva's like, that's it. And he's like, what else can we do? Right as he says that, Marshall, like a little kid, just turns around and, gets petty and just basically back to bitching with Satomi. And he's just like, you think this is over? I can think of plenty. And then I like how Wendell's just like, hell no, man. Like, he just shoots him with that dope ass light beam shot. I love the way his powers are drawn. I think one thing that they have done a really good job in this series so far is they really do a good job in setting apart the characteristics and especially the fighting styles, not just in terms of like how they look posing and whatever, but also like everyone's attacks look different. Like they're not all like just, oh, everyone just shoots beams of energy or whatever. No, it's like everyone does different things. Like we said before, like Radiant Black does stuff with gravity. Apparently Wendell can shoot light beams. I'm pretty sure he can do other things too. Eva can do portal stuff, and Satomi is full of surprises. So it's really cool just to see them all have very unique powers.
Yeah. It's really sweet, and with seeing him multiply, seeing Wendell like multiply himself early on, or at least visually have representations of himself. Like I'm wondering, like, are these beams like, obviously they all hurt, or some of them are just like light based. But I guess if that's where like these energy blasts come from, then he can presumably make more than anyone. So everyone's kind of got a specialty in the field, and he can do better projectiles, I guess.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were comparing this to Invincible, and they were like, like it's nowhere near as good, blah blah blah. Guys, give it a chance. It's been 8 issues in, and so many things have happened. If we're comparing this to 8 issues of Invincible, a lot a lot has happened in both, but I would say a little bit more has happened in the first 8 issues of Radiant Black. And I'm saying this as someone who loves Invincible. It's my favorite comic. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd have to agree with that. Every issue so far, except maybe
number
I think it was
two.
5, maybe the one where they introduced Satomi too. Like there's been a major reveal, something big happens. Like it's always
Yeah,
keeping
we talked early on about like no characters, right? We were like the first 3 issues, we were like, when are we gonna get new characters? When are we gonna get new characters? Then boom, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? Like we got
the
all
main
these new
character
characters.
dies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The main character dies, we get a new hero, then we get 2 new heroes, then we get a villain, then we get new auxiliary characters like Kathy, of course, but who's the real hero of the story? We all know that. But we all know the arm that stuck out of like Marshall's chest. Or that was Kathy, right? Like we all know that was Kathy looking over
Yeah,
her
'Cause you
100%.
said
godfather.
it, not me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
beyond that, to touch on the Kirkman thing, like Kirkman was writing Invincible at 24, right? So like I love Invincible, obviously I'm not, I'll sing the praise of Invincible all day, but like we're coming at this from a totally different point where Kyle Higgins is writing this at 35. This kind of hits you where you are, where like a lot of us are in that age group where, you're looking at the bank account or you're questioning whether your life's going the way you want it to. This is a whole different thing. Throw on Power Rangers. So it's got this whole like different aesthetic. Like you can't compare two things like South Park and American Dad or something like that. Like they're different kind of beasts in
I
a lot
heard
of ways.
someone say this is Adult Swim Power Rangers, and I'm like, that's a little bit harsh. And in some ways, it's
That's
true.
not a bad thing though.
But it's not a bad thing, exactly. I was saying that, but I think it's even better. Like, I think just like take a step back, because I'm not saying this as someone. I'm trying to remain objective here, because I know I do a podcast for the series. I know I love it, right? There's obviously a little bit of bias here, but I also did recently read the entire trade paperback in one sitting over, and I just thought, damn, this is really good. Like when you read 1, 2, and 3, and you have to wait the month because this is a once a month series, it is a long time. So if you're just like, oh, I really want to see Nathan, and at the time it was Nathan, do something, I understood that because I really felt that way too. I remember I didn't read issue 3 right away, or issue 2. It was issue 2 or 3, one of them right away, because I was just like, you know what, I just remember thinking like issue 2 was a little bit slow. But I remember once issue 3 hit and then issue 4, I saw it. It was all about just like world building, fleshing the character out, really getting an understanding of, what these characters are about. At first, it was also about developing Nathan as a character. So honestly, looking back through it, I really appreciate those issues. But now everyone's talking about action. Now we're getting a shit ton of action. Every issue has some awesome action, so we can't complain anymore, right?
Yeah.
Definitely, we've come a long way
And,
since then.
and we're like building up to something. Like it's not like this is the peak. Like every issue, we're clearly building up to something bigger. Like we saw last issue, they portaled into the middle of a robot war. This issue, this dude has a giant robot arm sticking out of his hand and he's sucking bad guys into it. Like clearly, they're building up to some greater conflict, and there's gonna be higher stakes soon. And they're obviously, this is all them just building the team together. This is them learning how to work together before they go off and do the crazy shit, you know?
Yeah. I
Like
don't.
like Satomi hasn't even resolved her shit with Marshall, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
I just don't understand these complaints. Like, oh, so much good. Like, why are you comparing the two? And not as good as an amazing comic is still amazing. And I think like it's just hard to compare them. And I'm
And
loving every moment of the series.
and that's not. I'm not even talking about comparison. I'm just saying people. Yeah, you're right though. People should not make that comparison, because this is completely its own thing. But also, I'm saying like if you're looking at it from that lens, like Invincible also changed a lot after. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you haven't read the comic, you're not going to want to hear this part. So skip over the next 10 seconds. But Invincible, what do you call it? After issue 12 or 12, where he explains where Omni-Man. I'm not sure, it's been a while, but where Omni-Man explains his real origin, and then he beats the shit out of Invincible, those 2 issues. Like that's 11 and 12, I think. after that, the comic changes a lot. It becomes a lot more cosmic. Invincible starts being off Earth, like a lot more. He starts taking a lot more adventures. Just there's a lot more characters. So it's like this is already doing that. Like we're already establishing that in issue 8, and it's doing it in an amazing way. So it's like, and it's also, if you're looking at it from the other perspective, also Invincible took like 13, 14 issues before it started doing that, right? Like it wasn't like at the beginning you could have very much said this is like a high school, like teenage, right? Like teenage kind of drama, superhero drama, like Ultimate Spider-Man. But then it
Yeah.
went crazy,
Well,
you know?
the other thing is it's not, if you have read all of Invincible, it's not fair to compare because you know where it's going. You know how it ends. You
Exactly.
know how it
Yep.
changes. We still have no idea what's happening here. But in the short amount of time short amount of issues that we've read so far, a lot has happened. We've got great characterization, and like you said, we've been getting a lot more action now. And who the hell knows where we're gonna end up in issue number 9?
I'm saying like issue number 9. That's the issue where we've got Nathan on the cover. There's a lot to
Oh
look
yeah,
forward to moving forward. Yeah, like and then we've got like issue number 9 is gonna have Nathan. That's the one with Nathan on the cover. So I'm assuming we're gonna see Nathan in some shape or form.
I
And
kind of feel like it's a trick to make us feel like it's a Goodbye Nathan episode, but like he's gonna be absorbed into the thing and become like the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Jor-El
like
for
the
sure.
Firestorm thing. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I mean,
then
this wouldn't be the first time they trick us.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And then issue 10 is gonna be in existence, right? So like we have a lot to look forward to, and there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be answered in those 2 issues, and I'm assuming things are going to get even crazier after that. What happens after existence? What are we going to see after that? Because if like if something to think about here, if this is 001, does that mean there's 002, 003, 004? Does that mean there's an entire army of these beings? Because there could be, you know what I'm saying, or there could be
And if he's
different
the
newer
first one,
models.
are there
Yeah,
more refined ones? Like,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like remember Alan at the beginning of Invincible, and then remember after they buff him in the patch
Yeah.
6 point Alan point oh
Yeah.
shit. But they buff him and then he becomes insanely overpowered. So it's like, could there be a refined version of 001? Could there be a 002? Could there be a team? Because
A
like
Mark II version, who knows?
yeah, he seems very like built for destruction. So
Yeah. I do want to say I love Wendell's speech, and I love it when he's just like, I don't know what that means, but if our world's gonna die, I'm not gonna be the reason. Like, oh, it's so simple. Like, it feels it's an 80s throwback. Like, it feels like I'm getting too old for this shit kind of vibes. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the reason. And then he just like he shoots a Marshall with one hand and picks him up with the same hand. That's Wendell. He's just like,
yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that we're seeing the team slowly come together. They have to earn it, right? Like how many, like how would have Avengers 1 movie been if Phil Coulson hadn't, done that whole death thing and gotten the Avengers to band together? That shit had to be earned, with Coulson's life.
Mm.
And here it's like, we have to. It's not going to be satisfying if we just get the whole team, gelling together from the get-go, and these guys were made to work together. We have to get to see their characters. We have to see their personalities develop. We have to see them, start to work together as a team. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. Clearly, Marshall and Satomi still have their shit to work out. They got to get into the ring and just like have a little sparring sesh. But everyone else, like Eva, Wendell, Marshall, and the rest of them, not including the two red and black together, seem to be having some good teamwork. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's almost like they went through the danger room already with how much they've had to practice against Glitch. So when they have time to like coordinate and plan out their strategies and stuff like that, who knows what kind of cool stuff they'll be able to pull off.
So totally, yeah, you make a very good point. So I made the joke earlier, and I know I told you guys because we're on the last page now, and it's my God, a quick issue, eh? So much awesome action happened so fast. That's how we felt when we read it. I remember I read it like 2 or 3 times right as I got it because I was like, damn, that was such a quick read. But we're on the last issue. We're in some sort of I can't really tell. Looks like desert or trees,
We're in
but
Oklahoma. Thor's hammer is about to drop in a second.
that's actually a good.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
That's not bad at all. That reminds me a lot of it now that you say it. But yeah, we're in some sort of somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and we see some people we don't know. But I made a joke with the guys before about how this could be the Cecil Stedman of Radiant Black.
Yeah.
I was joking, but no jokes. Maybe it could be because this seems like there's some people here who are messing with some technology that they don't quite understand or could be in the wrong hands right now. So
Mm.
I'm very curious as to see who these people are. I'm
Well, it's
very
Jace,
curious.
dude. It's Jace. Come on, that's all you need to know. It's first appearance of Jace. This is the key right now. Go and buy every issue 8 right now. No.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. I'm very curious
Me
to see
too.
who these guys are. I'm very curious as to see what the hell they just found. Because what is that? Is it like a
That's
ship
Ant-Man's
or
van,
a
isn't it?
bunker?
That's
Is
Ant-Man's van, dude. Come on, keep up.
It's that? Oh, that's true. Oh my God, I didn't even thought about that. Holy shit! Wow.
Two Ant-Man references in one issue, but no, I felt like that was Glitch Guy's ship, but I could be wrong.
That's
It,
what I
it,
thought
it
too.
looks
But
it looks like a safe from the outside though. No, it has
Maybe
like
it's
a
like a
safe
gate.
built.
Maybe it's like a
Yeah,
Stargate to warp in the
yeah,
army. Oh, who
yeah, yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah. Maybe it is. Yeah. No, that looks awesome though.
do
It's
these
a
look
hell
like
of a way to.
weapons for you on the wall? They look like a
Kind.
weapons rack or something
At,
It
like
looks
yeah, at
like
that.
least
Halo gun rack. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, exactly, something like that.
God, it's so sick. I just thinking right now. I didn't even think about it until I said it though. But like, if they could warp in people, like that'd be a good way to do the invasions. You don't have to worry about people seeing you when you're already on the ground
That's
coming in.
some Oblivion song shit, bro.
Yeah, true. But yeah, either way, we're in good company. We're talking Oblivion song. But yeah, these issues they go by so quick. Like when I see the text in the bottom, like next time or whatever, or I'm just like, God damn it! But I enjoyed myself. I'm like, I need more now. But so good though.
Oh yeah, and the saddest part about reading Radiant Black is that you know it ends, and the second saddest part is knowing you gotta wait a month. But it's worth it because it's been fantastic. We get a shorter letters page this week, letter section this week. Sorry, this month. And not not a lot, not too much going on. Check it out. I hear at one point Michael referred to us as the radicals, so I guess it's changing all the time. But
But Soodle's so freaking funny when he replies to stuff. God damn, like he's so funny when he was,
it,
he called New Zealand like a fictional place. That rivalry it keeps going with the Aussies and the Kiwis. But no, definitely read it just for Basuto alone. But the letters were pretty decent too. I thought it was good. You get there's a trillionaire vampires writing in all the time in this series. It's cool.
Yep. So they also said that they're gonna have another series of backups starting soon, and they tell us more about it when we get a bit closer to the time. So excited for a new backup series of comics because I think this was the last feature of the Unleash, correct?
Yeah, it was cool. I like the artwork and the
The
character
artwork's
designs are
fantastic.
really
The,
awesome.
the artwork's actually amazing. The artwork reminds me a lot of Seven Secrets, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that vibe too. It's definitely good.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, and like Unleash fans are running wild. I'm sure the people that have been following like the Twitch streams or whatever it was inspired by, like that's really sweet to finally see that realized in its own series. So it's really cool to see Higgins and the team giving a spotlight to these series and even another one coming up soon. So that's great.
Can you guys imagine a scenario where Glitch Guy joins the Radiants?
I
It
think
might
it's
happen
possible.
down the line. I wouldn't say it's impossible. It can happen down the line for sure.
There's always a bigger fish, so
Would
you
that
never
be
know.
would that be a lot of people's new favorite character if that would to happen? I feel like it would.
He's already one of my favorite characters. He's an asshole,
Yeah,
but
it's
he's
pretty badass. How do we
yeah.
know it's a he? It could be a she. It could be,
That's true.
a
It could be a
they. It
they.
could
We
be a
don't know what the
they, yeah.
genders are in space.
Yeah.
He looks like an
Yeah.
alien for sure. He
Could be an
reminds
it.
me of like one of the big leaders of the Faceless or whatever in Oblivion song, like the one that's really snarky
Ooh.
there. Though I forget his name because it's like a super.
The Gozan?
Yeah, he's like
No, no, like
the red.
Galak or whatever. Halak. His name is
Halak,
something
yeah.
like Halak.
That's the one with the big scarf.
The snarky one, like
The
the one
one,
that
the one that's all black and red.
yeah.
Yeah, the leader, right? The one who's like he has the
That's the
dual
Gozan
wield.
leader, yeah.
It tries to be the
Yeah,
Gozan's leader.
yeah.
Yeah.
His name is but yeah,
Either way, he's really cool. He's
yeah.
got that kind of like
It's really
vibe of
cool.
like, it's like the Vegeta thing, right? Where he's like, he's not, he could easily kind of like be swayed, but he's like, whatever gets me the most glory, basically, is what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just like studies humans and shit. He's weird. His name is Lord Halak. Yeah, leader of faceless men. Yeah, no, Oblivion Song is fantastic. I haven't read 34 yet or 33 or whatever the last one is, but
I read
it's so
33.
good. It's so good. It's so good. The comic is so good. Like it's gonna be so great seeing it as a movie or a show. It's a movie, right? With Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be awesome.
check the Oblivion Song podcast for more because like the Invincible guys definitely caught onto that early too, and it's fantastic. So Oblivion Song, there's no better companion podcast than the Oblivion Song podcast. So check those guys out if you haven't already, and you need to hear more Oblivion Song because it's it's an
Yeah,
awesome series.
those guys are amazing. TJ, Ryan, and Bill, check them out. I love the Invincible podcast. Fantastic podcast. Check them out for Invincible content, the best there is. And obviously, like Matt said, the Oblivion Song podcast, same guys. Yeah, the Oblivion Song podcast. I was listening to the last episode recently, and I was really happy to hear that TJ actually like called the whole Jake Gyllenhaal thing like years ago, and he had it even like for proof. It was in one of the earlier episodes, so that was
That's a
awesome.
good catch.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was a
really
great
good
catch.
prediction.
Yeah, good call, TJ. But yeah, I don't know if we've announced it before, but I spoke to the Invincible podcast guys recently, like a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, and yeah, we did agree to get together for an episode soon. So hopefully that will happen. I think we said sometime in October, toward the end of October. So looking forward to that. Very excited for that. I think it's going to be a hell of a time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you did mention it before, but that's awesome. That's I can't wait for that. One thing I want to mention, our friends over at the Weekly Polls, it's been like a rough month for them, and I just want to give my condolences to Derek losing his father. That's a really fucking tough blow, and then his Twitter account got banned and stuff like that. So like really pulling for him. He's a great guy. All the guys at the Weekly Polls are great, and I just hope things start improving for him.
Yeah, he made a new Twitter account. It's called Grimace Wayne. Follow him on Twitter. He's a great guy. Our thoughts are with him, and I hope he's feeling better. But yeah, so I think that's it for this issue of the Radiant Black #8. It was amazing issue, amazing covers for this issue. I was really
Which
happy to
covers did
see.
you guys like more? A or
I
B?
got I got all of them, but I really it's so hard to pick, like
Yeah.
honestly, because they're both like God tier. But I personally like B more, just because I feel like B's like overall my favorite non-ratio cover in the series. Maybe number one, number
It'll
two,
make
because
a nice poster too.
yeah, it's just so nice. It reminds me of Invincible sitting on the ship going to Mars, where he was eating the sandwich and then it was like it crumbled. It
Yeah.
reminds me of that scene, and similar. And I just love the radiant orb like next to him and everything. I just think it's brilliant. Really, really like that cover.
Are you talking for the next issue?
Or no, this
No,
issue.
for A or B.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay. My mistake. Yeah. No, I was looking at I was on the image website and it threw me off. Yeah, that cover B is iconic, and obviously was that a ratio, the one with glitch on the front?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's badass as hell too, and the
the
cover
one the
A.
one where he's holding the two swords, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 that's
that
the
one's sweet. And the cover A, it really the framing is really cool and it shows the intensity. Like you can't go wrong with all these covers. But yeah, cover B I think that's one of my favorite of the series just because of the Invincible vibes, and it's just like I don't know, it's just so cool. It's like they're out in space and he's just sitting there calmly kind of like contemplating on like what this war could be or what he's doing. Like it's great.
Yeah, really good colors too. Like really love the small black hole orb looking radiant. It just looks amazing right next to him. Like it reminds me of like playing Destiny and having your ghost like follow you around and shit.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, so yeah, I really like that cover. Speaking of, let's talk about um issue number 11 a little bit before we get off here. So yeah, we talked a little bit about issue number 11 in December Comic Solicits, but since we're here, we've got three amazing covers. Cover A by Marcelo Costa. At least that's what it says on the image website.
Hmm.
Cover B by Diego Greco, and cover B is awesome. That little like I'm Braden Pink jumping out of the portal taking a selfie in Paris. Like I love
Yeah.
that. A pink background and everything. Very beautiful. I'm definitely grabbing one of those. I'm grabbing all of them. And then that cover C by Jordan Gibson, who actually recently did such an awesome cover B for Batman: The Adventures Continue Season 2 or whatever that thing's called. He done an awesome cover for that one with Batman and the
Yeah,
Gray
that's
Ghosts.
that's the Radiant Black one. Looks like retro at the same time yeah,
Yeah.
futuristic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a really sweet one. I love it. The background and just the model and like the
Title.
text.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
so good.
yeah. So yeah, and I feel like this one's been a short episode. So before we call it here, has anyone read anything good or new they want to share? Sorry, has anyone read anything good or new recently that they want to share in the podcast?
Moon Knight 3 is pretty sweet this week, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Moon Knight. Man. Moon Knight's been really good. Jed, I haven't seen him at the store recently, but I really want to see him again because we got to talk about that and Death of Doctor Strange because that shit's been so good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Death of Doctor Strange one was kind of like a
It was it
chill
was a
read,
it was it was all
but
right. The ending
the
was
ending
really
was
good.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the death.
Um, I've been reading Darkhawk. I picked up Darkhawk #1
That was
Nice.
awesome.
the other day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
really
sweet.
enjoyed
Yeah.
Darkhawk, and I think
I think Spider-Man 74. It's the last
yeah,
one.
last issue of an expenses run, thank God. Deathstroke #1, definitely picking that up. First Trust, and I was just a fan of Deathstroke. Excited to read that. Yeah, it looks alright. Looks like an okay week. Superman, Son of Kal-El, new issue. Very happy about that. Robin, oh yeah, Robin. That cover with Respawn, the variant is insane. Like that's I'm 100% grabbing that cover. It looks like Spider-Man. But yeah, I think Robin. That's the one thing I would recommend that I recently read with Joshua Williamson, Gleb Melnikov. That's amazing. One of the best things. But yeah, so Radiant Black, staying on top of that.
Yeah.
Giveaway soon. We've got the giveaway at 250 followers. We're very close, so just follow the podcast at Radiant Black Podcast on Instagram, at Radiant Black Pod on Twitter. And if you got, if you want to be a part of the podcast, or you want, gotten questions, or you just want to be a part of the giveaway, you can email us at radiantblackpodcast@gmail.com.
Join the
And
Discord too, and that's a good way if you have specific questions you want read on the podcast. That's a good place to start. You can just write in the Rating Black Podcast tab and just let us know that you've got some things of interest that you'd like to hear discussed on the podcast, and we can make that happen. Also, we've got really cool people in the Discord. You can actually hear from cool things are dropped in the Discord that you don't see on Twitter until days later, if it even shows up later on. There's a lot of cool foreshadowing from people involved in the series. So if you haven't checked out the Discord, or if you don't even know what Discord is, I highly recommend taking a look at it.
yeah, the Discord's great. We've got a lot of cool people. It's not just limited to Radiant Black. They talk about other comic book related stuff, video games, movies, whatever. So there's that. And yeah, it's a good place to, sometimes catch some cool teases or, exclusives from the creators. A lot of people, when they find new exclusive covers done by stores, they share them on the Discord so that other people can get one. So yeah, join that if you want. There'll be a link in the description. Otherwise, thank you everyone for joining us this week, and we'll see you next time. Stay radiant.